If you've found that perfect house or are in the market for buying a home, you may be wondering how much sellers usually come down on a house. When it comes to buying a new home, everyone wants to score a deal. But how do you know how much to offer? It's important to understand the factors that affect the seller's willingness to negotiate so you can land on the perfect offer price. Hi, I'm Lydia Rowe, and this channel is all about living in the Miami Valley of Ohio. Today, I wanted to expand on my last video about making offers and address one specific question I get asked a lot regarding making offers on a home. How much to offer on a house will depend on the market that you're in, the property's list price, and how long it's been on the market. Many other factors that you should weigh before beginning negotiations with a home seller. But the burning question on everyone's mind is, how much do sellers usually come down on a house? First and foremost, it's important to understand whether you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. In a buyer's market, there's a lot of flexibility on price because available inventory is high and houses tend to sit on the market for longer. Here, home sellers tend to be more willing to negotiate because offers are few and far between. In a buyer's market, you can offer as much as 10% below the asking price, and most sellers will at least see that as worthy of a counteroffer. On the other hand, in a seller's market, it's much harder to go below asking price because inventory is low, and multiple buyers tend to be interested in the same properties. In this case, the sellers may be getting multiple offers, so don't expect them to be too willing to negotiate with you. If you're determined to make this house your new home, it's best to offer list price, or better yet, consider going above the listing price if you can. Another factor to consider is how long the real estate listing has been active. If the house has been on the market for a long time, the homeowner is probably motivated to sell as soon as possible, and that can mean flexibility on price. In the worst case, if you come in with an offer that's too low, the seller might come back with a counteroffer that's still reasonable. The rule of thumb is to never go more than 25% below the listed price, or you may risk insulting the seller and having them disregard your offer entirely. Finally, you should look at comparable sales in your desired neighborhood. Ask your real estate agent to work up a comparative market analysis, it's called a CMA, which will show you the list and sale prices for similar homes that have sold in the last few months. Use that as your guide to home buying. But remember, it's not just about the price. How badly do you want the home? If you've been house hunting for a while and you've finally found that dream home, it would be worth it to consider offering exactly what they're asking for it or a bit more to let your seller know you're move-in ready. On the other hand, if you think you'll be able to move on to the next property without any issues coming up, there's no harm in trying to score a deal. In the worst case, the seller rejects your offer and you go back to house hunting. In the world of real estate, there's almost always a long list of new and exciting properties. Lastly, it's important to keep in mind that negotiation is a key component of the home buying process. While it's always great to find a home that's within your budget, don't be afraid to negotiate with the seller if you feel that the asking price is too high. Remember, the worst they can say is no. If you're unsure about how much to offer, do some research on the local market, consult with a trusted real estate agent who can help guide you through the negotiation process. With a little bit of luck and some savvy negotiating skills, you could end up landing your dream home at the price that works for both you and the seller. And if you didn't know, here in Ohio, the seller's typically the one to pay both their realtor and yours as a buyer. So there's no advantage to you negotiating without your own realtor representing you. So to answer the question of how much sellers usually come down on a house, it really depends on the market, the property's list priced, how long it's been on the market, and many other factors. In a buyer's market, it's not uncommon to submit an offer that's around 10% below asking, whereas in a seller's market, it may be harder to go below asking price. Ultimately, it's up to you to determine how much to offer on a house, but by keeping these tips in mind and doing your research, you can increase your chances of landing your dream home at a price that works for both you and the seller. Thanks for watching, and happy house hunting.